I'm getting a bit complex. I am getting a very complex.
Welcome to Thursday, August 15th, 2013 Board of Education meeting. Roll call.
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Here.
Vice Chair Missio.
Here.
Secretary McMahon.
Here.
Ed Cordino. Lou Paternoster.
Here.
Deb Prunier.
Salute to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, who wants to get home and watch Westport Little League on TV, so we'll move on. Any visitors' comments? Welcome to our new staff that are here. No student reps yet, so I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 18, 2013 regular meeting. That's
Second. Any changes or discussion? Sorry. That's okay. Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm looking for a motion for the special meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 18, 2013 Board of Education special meeting as submitted.
Second it.
Thank you.
Moving forward.
I'll give you a second to look.
I don't like second things.
Well, there's
Good
two
job.
of you that can do it, so. Are you good, Shan?
Yeah, mine. Yours?
Back to that.
Exhibit.
Shannon, it's right here, the grievance.
Oh, that one, okay. Well, I know I read, but it doesn't, it's not,
It's exhibit A, right there.
oh, right there, okay. Yeah.
You're good?
Yeah, it's, sure.
Okay, roll call, please.
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Okay, personnel. Looking for a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to add a motion under section 7, personnel item A, resignation, and also add a motion under section 9, committee reports, item B, budget and operations to the August 15th, 2013 regular Board of Education meeting agenda.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Okay, so under resignations, we have 2 resignations. We received a resignation from Ms. Kim Olins, a special education teacher at North Branford High School, effective August 6, 2013. So we want to make a motion for
I
that?
make a motion to approve the resignation of Ms. Kim Owens, special education teacher at the North Branford High School, effective August 6, 2013.
I'll second
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
that. Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
We've also received a resignation from Mr. Berry.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resignation of Mr. Michael Berry, English teacher at North Branford High School, effective August 7, 2013.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Wish luck in Windsor with his new job. Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Okay, under appointments, we'll say that for you, that's under your report, you have somebody hired. No leaves at this time. So we'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I'd like to comment and thank Kim Owens for her dedication to the school system. She transferred from NBIS to the high school and Bridges program, and is relocating to New Hampshire. It was a very difficult decision for her, and she had wonderful memories with her time at high school, so I wish her nothing but the best. Michael Barry, as you would imagine, is going to Windsor High School, and was with us for a number of years, and certainly want to wish him the best as well. Okay, moving along, under the authority granted at the June 2013 meeting to hire during the summer months, we are thrilled, and I want to thank the administrative team for their dedication this summer, the time commitment. Anytime in the summertime when you do have resignations and you have to fill, we have numerous applicants for positions. And we have to pre-screen, screen, sometimes we telephone conference before even getting to the first round of the interview process, which then tends to go to a second and potentially third interview. And I want to publicly recognize and thank the administrators for their time this summer. At the high school, we have hired Scott Hunt as a school psychologist. As you recall, we had a resignation of a social worker, and we changed that position from a social worker to a school psychologist to vary the spectrum of what that position would do with testing and still working with children and providing the counseling component. So we're thrilled to have Scott Hunt coming on. Scott has a 6-year degree being at step 2. The special education team hired Angela Maluski, who will work in our Bridges program. We're thrilled. She comes with a wealth of background from the private sector, and I think she's really going to be a great addition to our special ed team. She's got a master's degree. And English 1-year position is going to be filled by Chelsea Dodds. We obviously, with the resignation of Mr. Berry, we're in the process now of screening, posting and screening English applications, and we're hoping to get that process started within the next week. Mr. Davis? Yes. I'm guessing. I'm thrilled to have 2 members of the administrative team here this evening. After I read a brief bio and ask them to stand, and please come around and introduce yourself to the board and do the handshake, the walk of fame, as we call it. We have appointed an assistant principal at the middle school. Keith O'Rourke is joining our team. He has a wealth of background working in the Fairfield School District at a large middle school. He attended Hofstra University for his undergrad, bachelor's in history and secondary ed, and received his master's in ed technology from Fairfield. And his post-92 work was at St. Bernard University. As you recall, we had a number of applicants for that position, and Keith was the unanimous choice, and we are thrilled to have him on board, and we welcome Keith to Branford. So, Keith, if you'd like to come forward, please, and introduce yourself to the board.
Good luck.
Good to see you again. Good to see you again.
Congratulations.
You can always shake Mary's hand. She makes the cookies.
I like cookies.
Stay out here. Okay, and as you are aware, Mr. Sean Parkhurst has accepted a position as the Director of Curriculum, Assistant Superintendent in Wallingford, and had resigned his position late into the summer months, and we have appointed Mr. Anthony Mancini as the interim principal at Jerome. Anthony doesn't have too much experience in public education, 42 years. In North Haven, 20 years as the principal of Monolese Elementary School, and he's an adjunct professor at Quinnipiac University. Anthony has spent many hours, Mr. Mancini has spent many hours this summer already preparing and getting to know personnel at Jerome. So we're very fortunate and excited to welcome Mr. Mancini to our administrative team. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Mr. Mancini is an accomplished chef. I have to say, his eggplant is superb. I would like to see I'm not sure the recipe, but I did have a little taste.
This district likes to eat.
Okay. It's all good. The standardized test data reports, if you had a chance to look at the current the other day, they listed the CMT results, and a lot of the quotes and things in the newspaper surrounding towns, obviously getting ready for the Common Core and the shift moving away from the CMT in preparation for the Common Core. I was pleased with our CMT results. We're not going to present this evening. We had slight dips in a couple of areas. That being said, with the preparation for the Common Core, it wasn't alarming.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it's not significant. And when you look at the district, you will break it out by DERG and border towns. And I think you'll be quite pleased with the CMT results. Again, we get 90th percentile in mathematics, which would place us in the top 10% of the state for our 5th grade team, which is the 3rd year in 4 years that we've hit at that 90th percentile, which is exceptional to be doing that here. And so we're very pleased with that. The CAP scores have also increased. I think, as I mentioned, we're going out with the bang with the CAP scores. We showed great gains there. I think 64% of the match scored gold. 66. Okay. And so you'll get that report in September. If there's any questions, Ms. Wooten is here to answer them. But you'll get an in-depth PowerPoint presentation in September. So we were pleased.
Good. Moving in the right direction still.
Would you extend an invitation to the council for that meeting if they want to come hear the reports?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
There are 2 members here tonight, so if you're here in September, you'll see the same presentation. So no, absolutely, thank you. There's a number of dates listed in your board packet for the opening day and professional development. We'll be doing a similar convocation as we did last year at NBIS with a meeting in the morning, a breakfast, and then a very brief 45-minute presentation. We'll recognize our Employee Service Awards again and Teacher of the Year. The District Teacher of the Year will also speak at that time, as will Phil Palmer, our union president. Snowfield will speak as board chair. We encourage you to come. We welcome you and hope you can make it. August 26th and 28th, teachers will attend a variety of meetings and training sessions. You'll get a full list, or it's here in your packet, of all of the activities that are going on. Quite a bit of Common Core preparation, and then there's time built in to get the teachers back into their classrooms. Over the past few years, we've heard from the teachers how much they value the ability to get in and have a lot of time.
What time is that?
Excuse me?
What time is the breakfast and the
There
ceremony?
will be a luncheon on Wednesday the 28th, which is at noon, and the
26.
Breakfast is 26th, from 8 to 8:30, and then the convocation is 8:30 to 10.
Sorry, I gotta put it in now.
do you have the schedules?
We gave everyone a packet. It's a
Everyone
second
has
packet.
this? Okay. So you have the 3 days with the days on the time and the agenda. Okay. Thank you.
She's going to break that.
Yeah. Any questions regarding the new teacher orientation? Ms. Wooten will work extensively with the new teachers that day. Mr. Winnicki has a piece in the morning that he goes through. So if there's anything that you have questions on, this is the time. Pretty straightforward. Very similar to what we've done
Right.
over the last several years.
We looked at it and everybody's curriculum.
The administrative team will spend 3 days, starting tomorrow from 8:30 to 2:30, going over the teacher evaluation. The administrative team will be trained, so we are meeting tomorrow and next Thursday and Friday for full-day sessions. I know how excited they are and anxious to spend 24 hours.
The faces
24
show.
hours together and spend time mirroring.
Not one of them can keep a straight face right now.
All of them.
So we're all in this together. I think that was the mantra from our superintendent's meeting on Tuesday. everyone's going into this with the same trepidation and fears of what's going to happen, what's it going to look like. There's only 14 towns in the state right now that have not submitted the seed or the hybrid model. Ours has been accepted within the hybrid, and our administrative team, led by Dr. Lindsay, did a great job working with the administrative team, putting our document together. It was accepted and went through, and we're thrilled and excited about getting started with that. But the 13 districts who had an alternate model, they're still waiting for the state to approve them, and it will be interesting to see where that goes. We should know in the next couple of weeks we're going to be able to start the school year. So that's good. But you can sense that, with the Common Core coming in at the same time as the new administrative model for administrators and teachers, the evaluation model is quite a bit of anxiety.
Oh, it's a lot.
It's a huge shift.
It's a lot.
So, big reform ever. So, okay, summer camp is coming to a close. As you are aware, Color of the World was the theme this year. We had outstanding turnout, and again, I want to like to recognize Lauren Berry, who was in her 3rd year as our director of the camp. As you know, Ms. Berry was out on maternity leave and did an amazing job running the camp and getting things up and running. She couldn't have done it without Kim Newbig and Ana DiMatteo from central office. They have been a pillar of strength over the last few years, keeping that camp not only surviving but thriving. The attendance numbers have been outstanding, the offerings to the kids, and we have so many repeat children that come back year after year that we fill up quickly. And that's a credit to the staff and to the leadership and the teamwork that goes into running an exceptional team. So I want to publicly thank them and wish them well in the next week or so as they wind down and get ready for the school.
Who did the poster in the showcase right out here? Was it
Oh,
the color?
it was,
And jumble. Yeah, was that the camp here or was it the other camp?
no, that was our camp. That's,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
she's a teacher at Jerome.
Diana.
Rametta. Diane Rametta.
Oh, no. It's, yes.
Didn't mean to-
Lisa Douglas. Lisa Douglas.
I didn't mean to put jets.
That's-
I know.
that's where
I was admiring it.
We both noticed it
I
walking
have
in.
gone to, what was Lisa? Lisa Douglas. They're obviously very artistic.
Yeah,
We
she
put it
did.
out every year in art classes at the high school for the calendar, and then we kind of go through and glean and pull different pieces to come up for something as a theme. The teachers got involved and submitted once they knew it was, the animal theme, color my world. She's
That's
very
great.
talented, so. And that's it for my report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then we move on to committees. Negotiations, nothing new at this point. Budget and operations. In order to provide adequate security for the FRC preschool after the Park and Rec facility opens, we need to install a set of hallway doors between the bathrooms and the old faculty room. Bill Chody worked with Nakus and Young on the design and then obtained a building permit. The project was bid and 2 firms responded. The recommendation is to award the project to Engineered Door Systems of North Haven, Connecticut in the amount of $15,683.75. So I'm looking for a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to award the installation of OA's doors between the bathrooms and the old faculty room at Stanley T. Williams School to Engineer Door System, EDS, of North Haven, Connecticut, in the amount of $15,683.75.
Oh, yeah, one comment. How come the board?
Second first.
I'll second.
Thank you. What's your comment?
I understand, it's a town project, but how come we're funding, we should be splitting the doors, I think, with the Park and Rec, we should be paying half since we're kind of segregating the thing, I think, rather than us shouldering the whole financial burden. I know it all comes out of the same pot at the end of the day, but it just seems that, it's a big expense, and it should be shared equally.
I think we looked at, the FRC program and having the youngsters, the 40 children at the end there, and they were primarily our responsibility, and we looked at it that way. obviously with utilities and heating costs and cooling, we've worked on a formula that we're going to use until we have a breakdown, or if we do make some significant changes to the heating and cooling system.
Great.
But it was important. I do want you to know that we have applied for the Safe Schools grant. It was $5 million earmarked for the state of Connecticut to be split between the 168 districts. So if it works out, there may be enough money to cover those doors that we received of that amount. It was a 40-page document. It'll show you what a great deal of time and effort was developers in putting this together. So our fingers are crossed, and hopefully we'll do it.
I realize we need it.
Yeah, no, and
Sure.
I understand what you're saying, but we talked about this way back
No, no,
when we
I
had
agree.
the security guards here, and this will be a lot less money than
Yeah.
the security guards, so.
It will be a mechanized door that will have a camera system through our main office, and we'll be able to totally seclude any outsiders to our inventory. And that was the primary goal.
Yeah. Okay, roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Mizio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Under budget and operations.
So at the last meeting, I made a motion when I went through the line item transfers. And at the end of it, my motion stated that it was going to, the additional money was going to go into the 1% fund. This year, there is no 1% fund, so I need to amend my motion. So at this time, I'd like to amend the line item transfer motion to transfer $90,034.55 to the town of North Branford, and it goes into the general fund. I'm assuming that that's where they're going to put it,
To transfer the excess.
excess of. So transfer the excess of $90,034.55 to the town of North Branford.
Second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Mizio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
And we did have a little budget meeting before. Do you want to say anything, Ron?
Well, we talked about, in addition to the line item transfer, or the 1% fund issue that was raised earlier, obviously we don't have a lot of significant problems with this year's budget, but we did talk about the fact that our financial situation in food service is not what we'd like to see, and we had a fairly significant drop in participation in the 12, 13 years. So we're looking at ways to try to combat that.
Okay. Thank you. We have to vote on that? Yeah, we do.
There's a schedule
Date.
attached.
Yeah, there's a schedule attached.
13, 14 days.
Yep. For the budget subcommittee meetings, which are remaining before the board meeting, 45 minutes before the board meeting, so I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the schedule of 2013-2014 Budget and Operations Subcommittee meeting dates as submitted.
Wait a couple of seconds, something.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Mizio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Curriculum, instruction, and strategic planning. What do you guys want to report on?
I do.
I'm an alternate.
Sure. We had a meeting, and it was very productive. We discussed the Safe School Climate update and strategic planning. We talked about the in-services that were going on in some of those schools, and what the plans were, and then we talked about some of the goals that were going to be put in place to improve and or review some of the things. We had a grant that we applied for well for technology. Can we have next move?
The technology grants for the smoke balance assessment, we're looking to increase the capacity in the district when we do go online to test for common core. So we're confident that those monies will allow us to upgrade systems that are in place. We are very fortunate. We are well stocked in the infrastructure of technology in the district in all buildings. And this will make our abilities and capacity greater.
Thank you to Mrs. Newton and Mr. Welsh, Dr. Welsh, for your collective
I'm sure,
PowerPoints.
I don't want to speak on behalf, but I'm impressed with the PBS data.
Absolutely.
And looking at, raw data numbers that truly show the number of incidents and the decline based upon, our thematic approach to PBIS and our ability to build relationships with our students and make them feel part of the school system. And we've been tracking this data over time, and the outcomes have been significant. So I want to thank the PBIS team and all the companies. Any comments? I never like to put anyone on the spot, but.
No, I mean, as far as school climate goes, we've had great results. Discipline referrals, as you said, have been down. Positive referrals are up. It's been implemented in all schools, and it's really transformed relations between staff and students. And I think a lot of the other efforts with assemblies and spirit days and things like that have made it a more fun place. And I think, anecdotally, that feels true, and through the data, it feels true. So we should be very proud of the effort. K-12.
And it's encouraging when the students at the high school are as excited about field day as they are at Jerome and TBS and now at the middle school, that they're able to come together with their teachers and staff and just have the opportunity to build morale and school spirit in grades K through 12. And those little things go a long way in making the change in the climate and the environment. We're focused on more things.
It's also very encouraging. I mean, I've had 2 kids graduate from the high school, and just the connections that they still have with some of the teachers that they had there, and they stay connected with them through all social media. And I mean, they graduated, they could have just moved on, but they retain a lot of those relationships and connections, and that's really nice to see. Okay. Moving on to, yeah, we have a calendar. I'm looking for another motion to accept the calendar of curriculum instruction and strategic planning subcommittee meeting dates, which are remaining before the budget subcommittee meeting on board days.
I'll make a motion to approve the schedule of 2013-2014 curriculum instruction and strategic planning subcommittee meeting dates as submitted.
I'll second
Thank you.
it. Oh, you will.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lead Patterson.
Yes.
Okay, attention's all you, Lou. I know you went to the meeting yesterday.
Yeah, I did. This summer meeting was outrageous. We did, one of the Board of Ed members that put in for his pension decided how he wanted it, so we approved that. And it was a lunch meeting, so it was very low key. And the biggest thing is that Avery believes that, everything's coming around, but he's a firm believer that we should move some funds into real estate. And it sounded really interesting because the real estate guy was there, and he's talking about that they invest in short-term real estate, which I didn't know what it was. It's like hotels, motels, where you change your night on a night, you can change your rates depending on the thing, and they try to avoid long-term leases because you're tied into that. So, and the other thing he said was very interesting was the big thing right now to invest in is storage sheds, those storage warehouses. He said, a lot of people losing their houses, where are they putting it? They're putting stuff in the storage areas. And he goes that the United States can't keep up with the storage. And they're actually investing a lot of money into that. So it was a very good meeting, and he's very happy with the results. We're all positive for the year. So it was nothing, it was a positive meeting overall. So that's it for pension.
Thank you for
I
covering
wish I
that.
had money for the best.
Thank you for covering that.
No problem.
copies, we have the portables at the end of the building.
Oh, God.
I'm trying.
They're coming down.
Okay,
Give those away.
policy, Dave.
Let's see here, policy, we had a big meeting. We had, I remember exactly how many, what was my page here? Yes, we had, what did you say, 20? 40. It was 40 that we reviewed, went through. We have several marked for deletion. We have several for first reads. And we did a lot in 2 hours. I want to thank Don for that. Things were pretty well prepared.
I want to thank both of you. I was on vacation during that meeting, so I know
He was also there.
I know the hard work that goes into that, so thank you. I'm going to be happy.
It's not the same without Shannon's either.
Thank you.
The 40 that are being deleted, if anybody has any problems with any specific one, we can pull them out of the lot, but I thought it would be better to group them together and delete all 40 in one motion.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
So if anybody has any issues with any particular one, just say so at the next meeting or email ahead of time, whatever, but we can pull it out at the next meeting, but I prefer to do this all in one motion. Mary will run out of paper and ink over there. We have to do it all separate.
Good suggestion.
I think it should be read. The number and the title.
Well, we can
Yeah, we
read the
can
number
read
and the
them
title,
and
but
then
instead of
we'll-
doing an individual vote for each and every one of them.
Yes, do a vote for each one, and if everybody shows up here, add the next hour to the meeting.
I don't have a problem with that as long as the public knows what we're voting on.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a reminder for the deletions, the majority of them are because of state statute
Right.
that
Correct.
incorporates the language of the policy into the
Right.
state statute. It's not that we are eliminating, they're either covered in another policy, if they're duplicated, or state statute supersedes, and there's not a need to have them there, which potentially could be putting the district at risk if they were there and we had a problem.
Right.
This was also both the first reads, second reads, and the deletions were also reviewed by the board's attorney.
Correct.
And again, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 10 for first reads besides the deletions. So reminder again, if anybody has any issues, comments, or questions, please email them in to Don ahead of time, and maybe we can get answers so we can move forward.
3 for second read and deletions.
So go ahead and make those motions.
Okay, motion to approve policy P 2300, privately owned vehicles as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion on that one? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
The next is to approve policy P 4025, video surveillance as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Next is to approve policy P 7600, family resource center as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chairwoman D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Vice Chair Missio.
Yes.
Secretary McMahon.
Yes.
Lou Paternoster.
Yes.
Okay, when we move on to ACES, I believe there's no meeting in August anyways, even though we don't have a representative. Anna sent me those dates. I will email them out to you guys, and if we can take a meeting one at a time, if anybody,
They're in the calendar that she sent.
right, if anybody can do the September meeting, just shoot over an email saying we can cover it, and we'll just take it one meeting at a time for the time being, because of everybody's schedules. That's really hard.
We need a retired person, we'll just do a sit.
So, yeah, if anybody can do it, just shoot over an email.
Retired, yeah.
There you go.
Did we contact them?
Yes, I believe I contacted them and let them know that due to our schedules, we don't have a replacement yet. And then building committee?
I think everything I was reporting on was obsolete. Right? What we said at the building committee, did it change the next night?
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so my vote was,
What kind of?
well,
Well, you could report on the roof.
yeah, well, they voted to delay it.
Right.
Yeah, they voted, I guess I was late to the meeting because I was at another meeting, so I showed up late, and Rose was there, and at that meeting, they voted to go right away as of October 1, put the bids in, all that stuff. October 1 was their anticipation date of starting. They were gonna do all the removal and all the asbestos stuff on second shift, so, you know, all that stuff wouldn't bother the kids, and they would bring the product in as needed or as called. That was as of, what night was that, Monday? Monday night. They were very adamant that they were going to move forward with the bid, you know, everything coming in. They anticipate start October 1st, right, Rose? Is that what it was?
Early October.
Yeah, early October, and then I guess, I don't know what happened after that, I guess, believe things
Yeah, we
changed
went to
after
the
that.
meeting Tuesday night.
Yeah, right, we were at the town council meeting, and we just had a discussion regarding the timing of it with students being on campus, and it's obviously safety concerns, but then looking at kids that might be hypersensitive to dust, kids with allergies or asthma. Because as you know, right through October, you can get temperatures into the 80s, the second story windows are open, and the smell and the dust created from the roof removal is significant. And it was my recommendation, as I had sent an email to Mike Paulus, our town manager, that the Board of Ed and I personally have many concerns, and we would like to have the discussion of pushing the project out, bidding and going through the process, but moving it to the end of the school year as quickly as we possibly could upon completion of the 13th or 14th school year. And they had a healthy conversation, and that's how we left it. And I'm not sure if we're still at that point, or if you're going back to a permanent project, or
Well, according to the town attorney, we didn't need to take a vote on it because ultimately the council is the party that is for public safety and everything else. So he said we didn't need a motion on it, but it was the consensus of the council to move ahead except to do the
it's a
project.
process. So at this point, and I thank the council, because that certainly was quite a bit of anxiety that we do not now have to deal with supervision and kids being around the building.
It's so nice
weekends.
that the council
So,
thought about, you know, the safety and is working with the schools.
Well, and I agree, they're gonna move forward with the state level and with funding and getting the bids out there and just having a start date as soon as school ends, so it'll be ready to go when school gets out. We don't have to do all that legwork at that point, because even though the academic day ends at 2 o'clock, you still have a lot of kids that stay after for sports clubs, band, chorus, you know, the kids are outside.
Well, the dust alone.
Right.
That's huge.
Right, so
that's where that's.
we have to put our rain barrels out one more year, and we'll put them out one more year.
We're gonna get our money's worth out of ourselves.
Hmm?
We're gonna get our money's worth out.
That's right.
It's part of our atmosphere, the garbage.
Okay, and we move on to communication. Nothing, correct me if I'm wrong, nothing came in on the link, right? I don't remember anything coming in on the link.
But no,
I didn't get it, it's
Ms.
quiet.
Mayor did not report any.
Yeah, no, I don't, there was nothing that came in on the link, and then we had a communication meeting the other night, Monday night, which is why you were late for the project building.
Yes, my fault.
No, the meeting ran late.
My fault.
But we did have a healthy conversation with the town council regarding the 1% fund. That our excess money is not going into that this year, that it was much needed in the town budget to offset another department. But we did ask them to consider letting us take a little bit of money, if you could give us a little bit of money back for the truck lease.
We have had communications,
Right.
and we, both groups seem to be on the same page, that if there was the ability to offset some of that lease money when we're in the second year of the truck lease, which is approximately $14,000, to offset that in this year, we greatly appreciate it. So that's moving forward with the council.
We also.
They'll discuss that at their next meeting.
Right. And we also had discussion, which I kind of forgot about till just now, about if there's excess money from the roof project, maybe replacing those air handlers.
Right. And obviously the appropriate time to do it is while you're up on the roof and not having to go back. The goal is to stay off the roof unless you absolutely have to be up there to do work. So those conversations are continuing as a permanent project in the council as we look at investment as we move forward. And that being said, Tucket Valley obviously is online for next summer as well, and we're looking at the possibility of coupling the high school into Tucket Valley, which potentially could be savings if the same company used to receive the bid. So there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of conversations, and hopefully it'll play to our favor and we can get both schools done at a savings.
Okay, anybody have anything else to add? No new business?
No, we have a new desk at the beach, kind of hallway, it's very nice.
Is that for our guards?
I'm sorry, what?
The new,
Oh, the security station. It is a impressive piece. It will hold the security guard and the hall monitor, and it will be equipped with there's surveillance monitor, so that the security guard will be able to see numerous points around the campus. I believe we have 17 cameras, Mr. Davis?
Yes.
17 camera spots at NBIS. And he will be able to monitor 17 different stations while still having a sight line to both front doors. We also will have the ability to buzz the visitors in through that station and have a sight line before allowing that person to come in. So NBIS is making great strides. We're then looking to couple and do the similar things at TBS, at the high school, and at Jerome. Unfortunately, the space that we have at the entrance points in those buildings is nowhere near what we have at NBIS, so we would have to retrofit or monitor or reconstruct, a similar type of station, but just obviously much smaller.
I understand it was built locally, but very nice craftsmanship.
I can't take credit for that.
It was Ricky Elias, wasn't it?
It was really,
Locally made,
Yeah.
well made, so it looks beautiful, it fits in there, and it'll function quite well.
Perfect. Any visitors, press comments?
they're on vacation.
Did you send them an email letting us know?
No, I actually, I had contact with Dolly, and she said that she was gonna miss this meeting as well.
I'd
Well, I
like
hope they're having a
to,
good time. They're okay. Right.
Oh, yeah.
before we move on to go to the board, I'd like to just recognize Father Joe, who passed, unfortunately, this past week, 2 weeks ago, from St. Monica's Church. He was a great friend to the community and did so much for our students and families here in Northford. Was here for quite a long stint and had an amazing career in ministry. And he was, as you know, great friends with our chef Ed, and we were saddened by his loss. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend his funeral mass, which was so impressive to see clergy there and to see the families and young children that were so close with him. So I do want to acknowledge him and ask for a moment of silence on his behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Go to the board.
Something.
No.
What? No, it's not on Facebook this time. Just want to wish everybody happy summer's coming down. But I'd like to thank all the administrators for showing up tonight. We're in mid-August, and I believe we have every single administrator here. I want to thank you for taking time out of your summer to come here and spend the night with us. You guys should be recognized.
We gave them July off.
Still it's August.
But I'm still going to thank them for being here tonight.
It
wasn't
optional. That's it.
That's it?
Well, maybe. No, I'm not.
Okay. The next regular Board of Education meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 19th, 2013. Any motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.